Hi, I'm Hannah, the Wife Without Kids. This channel is all about creating a positive community to support you in your choice to live the child-free life. Today, I am going to be reacting to child-free Instagram Reels. There are so many ways that life can be meaningful. Kids can be one way if you want to have kids, but there are so many other things that people can do in life that gives it meaning. And I think the meaning of life is going to be a little bit different for every single person, and that's why we're fulfilled through different events and different activities and different types of relationships. I've never felt that my life isn't fulfilling because I didn't have kids. Quite the opposite, actually.
Hello, congratulations, you're pregnant.
Yes, very much so. I'm always happy for people when they get pregnant and they want to be parents. Obviously, it's a super exciting time for them, but I'm always a little bit sad because I feel like, oh man, our friendship is going to change, and that's always a little bit hard. You kind of mourn the loss of friendships. Like, you still stay friends. I mean, for the most part, I'm still friends with people who have kids, obviously, but the relationships definitely do change, especially at the beginning when the kids are young. You just don't see them as much, and you just don't have as much in common, which is kind of part of being an adult, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm happy for them, but there's a little part of me that's a little sad. Happy for them, but, you know, a little sad. I like the way she did her hair, it looked cute. She's got a fur kid, and for some people that's just enough. We don't want the real ones if we've got the fur ones. Not everyone likes to call their pets fur babies, but they're your pets, they're your fur kids, call them whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. Okay, this one I believe is in German, but I'm gonna see if I can put the subtitles up. It kind of looked funny, so I wanted to add it in as well. So, here we go.
Bist du aber ein süßes Baby? Komm, schau dir mal dieses süße Baby an. Güte, Güte.
Eyebrows on that baby were hysterical, honestly. Yeah, that's kind of how I am when people say like, oh, come see my baby, it's so precious, it's so cute, it's so sweet. I'm not a baby person, that's all there is to say. But this was pretty funny, actually. On to the next one. Yep. All sorts of comments, just dance it away. There's not really any point in getting too worked up about it. Just let it roll off your shoulders, have a dance in the kitchen with your pet, and if you don't have a pet, grab a person, and if you're living alone, then dance alone, why not? This is so funny because I literally will sometimes pick up my cat and just like dance around the kitchen or the living room or wherever I am with him and just like kiss him and hold him. My cat just has this like look in his eyes, like, what are you doing to me? Please just put me down, you're freaking me out, and I don't like it. Relate to this whole thing, except that I'm not really a writer and I can't keep plants alive to save my life. So, I mean, I do water. I have a few plants and I water them, but it doesn't last long. They usually all die within a few weeks, months if I'm lucky. Actually, I have a couple cactuses that are still living. Barely. They're hanging on though. I think I've had them for over a year. I do think they're slowly starting to die though because they're kind of like shriveling. I don't think that's a good sign, but oh well. We can't be good at everything.
One of the biggest questions I ever get asked is, what do you do all day without kids?
Look like a pretty fun life. I don't know where she went boating, but that looks really nice. I wonder if that was vacation or if that's just like, oh, I just live somewhere that's really beautiful and I just pop in my boat and go for a ride, but that looks pretty enjoyable, not gonna lie. Unless you get seasick, then maybe not so much. Oh, I love that dog. looks like the perfect morning. She's got a pup and he just looks so happy and he's so cute. That is like the cutest dog ever. Looks very relaxing. It looks a lot like some of my weekend mornings actually. I can relate, except I don't have a dog. It's cats and they're getting fur over me and purring. Relatable, very relatable.
And yeah, I just don't enjoy it. It's not an enjoyable experience for me, and I don't like any of you.
Well, there's some honesty. Some people don't like kids. People are allowed to not like kids, and if it's not an enjoyable experience, you probably don't want to have any of your own, or nor should you have any of your own. Anyone's ever gotten me a kid gift. I don't think any of my friends have ever forgotten that I don't have kids. It's pretty obvious we don't have kids. Maybe if people forget that you have kids, you need to reevaluate what kinds of people you're hanging out with. I mean that in like the kindest way, but yeah, when people don't have kids, I don't think you forget that they don't have kids. You just know they don't have kids. So peaceful. Okay, that was just like insanely peaceful, and the reason I shared is because Lenora is actually Canadian. I love just seeing all the mountains. I think it's so beautiful. So I had to get this little clip in there, even though this technically doesn't have anything to do with being child-free, but Lenora is child-free and she posted this and I'm like, yeah, I got a little shout out to Lenora and also to beautiful scenery in Canada. If you ever get a chance to visit, you should. Cute. Yes, it's not every single woman's path to be a mother, and womanhood doesn't necessarily mean motherhood. Often they are used synonymously with each other, but there are lots of women that don't want to be parents, and there's nothing wrong with that. After everything that's happened in the last year, there have actually been quite a few people that have said, hey, you know what? It's kind of making me reconsider having kids, or at least making me really think about if I want to have children. And that's what it's all about. It's a choice. Make sure you think about both sides before you just have a kid. Both choices are fine, just make sure you're making the choice that you really want. Because when you don't give it a lot of thought, sometimes people regret having kids, which is a horrible thing to say, but it's a real thing and it does happen. And this video talks about some parents that actually regret having children. I think you should check it out because you're going to find it pretty interesting. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and remember, you are never alone. I'll see you next week.